Well, good evening, everybody. It's been a long night and a great trade show. A lot of interesting things, and tonight I just want to share with you something that I hope can end everything on a high note, no pun intended. So, just a show of hands, who here is familiar or likes roller coasters or big rides, things like that? Okay, great. Then you're probably familiar with Six Flags Great Adventure. Tonight I want to show and share with you their new ride, actually. It should satisfy that. Now, just a little background. When I was growing up, I grew up in Hamilton Square, New Jersey, which is not too far from here, and not too far from Great Adventures. So every year my family and I would get seasons passes, and we'd spend about every other, at least I would anyway, and have to find somebody to go with me, every other weekend or so there. It sort of became a big hobby of mine, everything that had to do with amusement parks and the whole industry and everything. And Six Flags, being so close, was something that I became really familiar with. Now, Six Flags is, they've always had a thing for building the biggest and best rides. And it's something that every year, of course, I'd wait to see what they were going to announce, and they never usually failed. Unfortunately, in about 2009, according to Business Insider, they went into bankruptcy. But a year later, they emerged from bankruptcy by slimming things down a bit. And now they've come back for their next season with something brand new that's going to fill that world-class void that hasn't been there for a few years. That ride in question is called Zumanjaro, Drop of Doom. Now, you can probably get from the name that it's a drop ride. It's gonna drop. Next year actually is going to be Six Flags 40th season, so they wanted to create something really special and really push the limits. And they wanted to create something that was a world-class attraction, and so they brought together three things that generally make an attraction from something good to something great and world-class. And those three things are specifications, more specifically height and speed, the environment, such as the theme and things around it, and thirdly, the design of the ride and how it feels when you're going on it, and just making sure everything's smooth. So we'll get right into that. First off, now I'm sure everybody knows what this is, and just a show of hands, who actually has been there? Okay, great. Then you know how tall it is, and that picture can really show that. Our first thing that goes into a world-class attraction is specifications, like I said. Height is number one. Statue of Liberty, right here, from the ground to the torch, is 305 feet tall. Now, Zumanjaro it's pretty close to that, just a little bit taller, about 110 feet taller than that. So, it's pretty high up. That's actually the tallest drop ride in the world. Our second specification is actually speed. When at its maximum speed, the ride is going to drop you at 90 miles per hour. Now, unless you've probably broken the law, you're probably not going to be going that fast. So, very few places you can experience that kind of speed. So, moving on to the second component of a world-class attraction, actually, and you're probably wondering why I have a picture of Philadelphia here, and I'm going to get to that in a moment. Most rides incorporate some kind of theme. Zumanjaro is going to be incorporating an African theme, which is actually where its name is derived. And it's going to be around Great Adventures, their Golden Kingdom area of the park. So it's going to be incorporate animals. They actually had the Wild Safari, which they closed, I believe it was last year. And a fan favorite was the baboons. And so this year they've decided with this ride and the theming, yes?
Farmers.
Oh, sorry. With the theming, they decided to bring that back, bring the baboons back. And so you'll be able to walk up to them and see them. A second feature is actually, for those of you who know, they have a ride there called King Dakar. It's the tallest coaster in the world. And Zumanjaro is actually being built onto that ride. So while you are going up and down, the trains for King Dakar will be going up and down around you. And thirdly, for the environment, you can see here all these skyscrapers in Philadelphia. When you are at the top of the ride, you'll actually be able to see Philadelphia 52 miles away. Now third, this picture's a little blurry, so hopefully I can try to help you make out what it is. It's the design of the ride. Now this ride is being developed, I interviewed Kristen Siebenheiger, who is the communications director at Great Adventure. She confirmed that this ride is actually being developed by a company that they're familiar with, called Intamin. They've developed King Dakar and a few other rides that are known for their smoothness and things like that. This ride actually employs an elevator-style lift, which you might be able to see the cables right up there. Basically, it's very smooth and it gets you up and down very quickly. And also the shoulder harnesses are their strengths, and they're very comfortable and sleek and freeing, and they also are very secure. So, in conclusion, here you can actually see what the finished product is going to look like. You've got, this is King Dakar around it, and the three towers in the center. And so they've decided, or they brought all that in to try to create a world-class attraction, which is what they strive for. They're actually known as the thrill capital of the Northeast. And they wanted to make sure that this ride was as good as it could be by making it breaking as many records as they could, making it very smooth and designed very well, and they wanted to make sure that not only did it have a great theme, but it also had external features about it that could really add to the ride in some way. So, thank you very much, and have a great evening.